Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is part 7 of Stuck Together. Enjoy. With Hawks agreeing to keep your relationship a secret, you went about trying to act like your life was in order, which was difficult seeing as you were working with the man who you were also seeing, and the first 2 weeks were a little chaotic. On top of all of this, you decided to move places because your ex showing up randomly just wouldn't do. So you bought an apartment nearby and had been slowly transferring everything across each day after work. Coffee for one? Hawks asked as he entered the staff room one afternoon, approaching you from behind. You had just brewed yourself some coffee from the staff machine, but it was well known that the stuff tasted terrible, and you wrinkled your nose as you lifted the freshly made slop to your lips to take a sip. Unfortunately, you sighed in reply to him after tasting the less than palatable mixture. But I need something because moving house and working is killing me. Come go grab a coffee with me, he asked casually. Flirting again, Hawks? A male co-worker asked cheekily as he walked into the room. Me? Hawks asked with genuine surprise in his voice. You knew Hawks was a master of deception. He had infiltrated some of the hardest criminal gangs and knew how to act, so you knew he was indeed flirting with you, but obviously needed to keep it covered. So coy, the male co-worker said as he joined you at the machine. You know they revised the work policy, right? Dating of a co-worker is grounds for immediate dismissal. Both you and Hawks froze, your head whipping towards the male co-worker. What? When was this? You asked, the shock and surprise in your voice giving you away a little bit, but Hawks covered for you quickly. Yin, that time that you tripped and kissed the cardboard cutout of Tina from finance doesn't count, he quipped. You flicked your leg out and kicked your foot in behind his knee and pulled it to knock him off kilter, taking him down to the ground in one fell swoop. Ah! He screeched playfully, rolling on the floor while you turned your attention back to the male co-worker. Sorry, you were saying? Yeah, the boss brought it up at the last team meeting, he said. When was the last team meeting? You asked, cocking your head to the side in question as you continued to ignore Hawks wailing on the floor behind you, something about calling for an ambulance. A week ago, the co-worker mused, placing his hand on his chin as he pondered it. I don't remember you being present, actually. And when I think about it, Hawks wasn't present either. His suspicious gaze glossed over you to Hawks down on the floor, who had stopped rolling around by then and was now sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor. You could feel the heat rising in your cheeks, and you looked back and down at Hawks. Anywhere was better to look at than the co-worker at this point, as you knew you would be giving yourself away. That could have been one of the mornings that we slept in, together, in Hawks's bed. Hawks saw the look on your face and knew what you were thinking immediately. And? He asked the co-worker, leaning to the side a little so he could look up at him with the most innocent expression on his face. You marvelled at the way that he could look completely removed from any situation, like he could be standing over a dead body with a knife in hand and still convince you that he hadn't just killed the person on the floor. Oh, nothing, the co-worker said, sounding a little snide as he said it. It was obvious that he suspected you both being a couple. Ah, come on, Hawk said with a flap of his wings as he got himself up off the floor with hands in pockets. Do you actually think I have a chance with Yin? I'll take that as a compliment. You hesitated to look at the co-worker, and he looked from Hawks to you, then back to Hawks. I mean, Yin has a man, doesn't she? Hawks said, knowing that your breaking it off with your man still wasn't common knowledge. Hawks looked at the silent you as he said it. Oh, I completely forgot about him, the co-worker suddenly chuckled. Although, you know. Yeah? Hawks pushed as the co-worker faltered in his sentence. The co-worker looked at you again. No, never mind. He decided wisely not to finish his sentence, in which he was going to pose the question of the possibility of you being unfaithful to your man and seeing Hawks on the side. Now wanting to escape so that Hawks didn't push for any more, the guy left hastily and you looked at Hawks. I forgot people didn't know that I've broken it off with my ex, you whispered lowly to Hawks. Use it as cover, Hawks said. It'll be good. But now what? You whispered again, coffee cup going cold in your hand. If they find out we're together, that's it for working here. I've actually been thinking of starting my own agency, Hawks said thoughtfully. Seriously? You asked. You know I'm never serious, but yeah, Hawk said with a smile. Okay, Mr. I'm serious but not serious, you teased. Let me know if and when you plan to start your own, and then invite me across. I don't plan on starting it without you by my side, he said in a soft, endearing tone, his gaze going soft as well. I'd hug you right now, but we need to be on our best behaviour in the moment. We? You spluttered. Speak for yourself. I can keep my hands in check, but can you? Nope. That's why I send my feathers to do the naughty work, he replied with a giant, goofy grin. You snorted through your nose. It's true, his feathers had followed you into the women's bathroom and given you little taps on the booty as you were trying to do a basic human task. Someone is going to catch you one day, you warned, taking a sip of the now cold coffee and scrunching your nose up with disdain. Ugh. Go and get some real coffee with a real man, Hawks cajoled you. I'll invite others if it makes you feel more at ease. We're going to have to, he said with a small sigh. Kind of need work right now. Bills don't pay themselves, unfortunately. Hawks nodded. Okay, let me ask some others and then we can have a sneaky date amongst company. You shook your head with a smile. You're determined to dance on the edge, aren't you? Of course. I have wings, so I'm not afraid to fall, he replied as he lifted off the ground and hovered there to show you his wings. Fine. You walked to the sink and tipped the coffee down the drain, but before you could turn around to say something to Hawks again, he had his arms around your waist and his lips on the back of your neck. Hawks, what are you... I've got feathers stationed in the hallway and a feather blocking the camera, he whispered into your ear before nibbling on your earlobe. Let me just have one bite of your ear before I let you go. I've been holding back all morning. You spun in his arms and flicked your wings out to cage you and him in. Listen, don't get us fired. I can come to yours tonight. I can't wait that long. Well, you'd better start practicing, because this will be a long-term thing. Us not being able to show that we're dating, so you'd best get used to it. Hawk softened and a really genuine smile pulled at his lips, so much so that it made you pause and ask him what he was smiling about. I'm really happy to hear you say that, Hawk said lovingly. Say what? That this would be a long-term thing. Bashfulness took you over, and you quickly looked away, a little shy that you had admitted your true feelings about him. Yeah, well, you know, But just then he let you go and stepped back, recalling his feathers as a different co-worker walked in. Yeah, so we should report that as well, Hawk said loudly to you, making it sound like you two had been in a bit of a work discussion. Yeah, okay, you replied, following his lead. Oh, hey, Hawks greeted the newcomer, like he'd only just noticed the new person walk in. You want to come get a coffee with Yin and I? The machine here's just poison masquerading as coffee. Tell me about it, the guy replied in an annoyed and tired voice. But to be honest, if it killed me, I wouldn't be mad. I feel you, he said to the guy, but we need you alive, so come with us. We'll help you feel more human. Yeah, okay, he said with a yawn. Hawks looked at you and winked, as you and he and the other guy all walked down the hall to get a coffee together, with Hawks having a sneaky bum squeeze of your tush whenever he got a chance. What do we do about Hawks, and what do we do about the new rule that was brought in? You'll have to come back tomorrow to see what happens. See you then.